Namaskar friends. Today this oration is the first of our series, Lifeline Orations program. The other day it was an introductory oration that gave you a brief outline of the topics to be covered in this program, as well as the sequential order of their delivery. According to that schedule, the first subhead of the particularistic topic, please remember, is love of life versus fear of death. Man's love of life versus his fear of death. And we will start with a beautiful drama of the greatest dramatist of the world, William Shakespeare of England. The name of the drama is Measure for Measure. The place is early modern Venice, a small kingdom in Italy. Its ruler is Duke Vincentio. Duke Vincentio was a kind-hearted liberal ruler. After some years of his rule, he found that there was growing moral and every sort of criminal activities. The moral depravity was the highest. Laws to curb every sort of a crime was very hard and strict. But because they were very hard and strict, a liberal ruler was unable to enforce it, taking advantage of his liberality. Many people wanted to have their ways. The Duke saw that if he was going to enforce the law, there would be rebellion against him. He wanted to place a surrogate in his throne, a surrogate ruler, and he will be absent from the throne for some time, till law and order and morality of the kingdom is restored. Accordingly, he placed one of his confidants, Lord Angelo, as the ruler, and himself remained absent, went out of sight. Now, Lord Angelo, what the first action was to punish a young man who was in love with a girl and had made her pregnant. Under the Venetian law, anybody who makes an unmarried girl pregnant was liable to death. That girl was incidentally engaged to Lord Angelo. There are no means of communication for early circulation of the affair. One of the friends of the young man who was to die, Claudio, his name, and his friend's name was Lucio. He went and contacted Claudio's sister, Isabella. Isabella was just going to take up the veil for life. He told her that her brother was going to die for this crime, and suggested that she should go and approach Lord Angelo, supplicate him for his mercy, let him relax the punishment, not the death punishment he should give. Accordingly, Isabella went to Lord Angelo, and whatever she pleaded for relaxation of the punishment, Lord Angelo did not relent. He was hell-bent to see that Claudio died. Then the next day she went to Lord Angelo. Lord Angelo gave her a very ugly suggestion. If she could sleep with him for a night in some lonely bungalow, then he could relent in favor of her brother. That was his condition. Isabella said, better a brother died than a sister dishonored for life, and most possibly be the mother of an illegitimate child. Angelo said, okay. Isabella then came to Claudio in the jail. He was to die after 2 days. And when she told everything, Claudio suggested that she should sacrifice herself for the life of her brother. Isabella's reply was the same. Better a brother died under law than a sister dishonored for life. She asked him, if the law punishes you, why do you fear to die? He said, I fear to die. Death is such a fearful thing. She said, a dishonored life is a hateful thing, and suggested that he should be prepared to die. Now, Claudio says, to die, to know not where we go after death, to lie frozen in an icy basket, lie confined in an icy sphere, and reduced to a clod of flesh. And this delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or mingling with these weird winds that violently circulate around the earth. Now, mark, friends, these 4 lines. The weariest and the most lustful life, worldly life, that age, sickness, penury, and imprisonment can lay on a nature, is a paradise to her with fear of death. Whatever age a man may have, 120 years, unable to do anything, simply living, he wants that. He would choose that. Sickness, however sick a person may be, he would not wish to die. And however poor a person may be, unable to get even a meal a day, life will also be welcome to him, and imprisonment. Her sister said, okay, but I am not going to do as you like. Saying this, the sister went away from the jail. King Vincentio was actually moving inside the kingdom in the guise of a friar. He had not moved outside. He had come to know how Angelo has misused his power, taken his personal vengeance rather, using the power he had been given. He was moving around the jail incognito. The moment Isabella's back was turned, he approached Claudio. He asked Claudio, do you hope Lord Angelo would grant you reprieve and relax your death punishment? Claudio answered, a miserable man has no scope to do any other thing than simply to hope. I don't fear to die, but I love life so much. Then mark, friends, Shakespeare's dialogue, the second best dialogue in the entire Shakespearean corpus, the first being to be or not to be in Hamlet. be absolute for death, Mr. Claudio, then either life or death will be pleasurable to you. Reason thus with life, argue with life. By giving away you from me, I but lose a thing what only fools cling to. You are but a breath, simply a breath, but a breath subject to all the servile influences, to the sky eye influences. Sky eye means coming from the sky. You are servile to all the sky eye influences. A peal of thunder, you are awestruck, become breathless for a second, like this. You are merely death's fool. You know not only that death is certain, but it can come at any time. Still then you fear it. You are never noble, because in each and every of your action and ideas, it is baseness that dwells. They are regulated by base motives. You are never valiant. For if you see a worm with two wings in different sides in its head, you shiver, you fear. Your rest after a day's work is sleep. You sometimes provoke sleep, but still death you fear. That means you also fear you may not rise again. You are not happy. So whatever you gather to make you happy, you will still hanker for more. And until that you get, you remain unhappy. Never bothering to be happy with all things you have already gathered. You are not yourself, for you survive by the grain that comes from the earth. Now how can it be said that you are yourself? You have neither age nor youth. Age and youth for you is like after dinner sleep. You note suddenly, you discover that you have become old. And when you are old, everything vanishes from you. Warmth, affection, excitement, everything. And whatever you have collected all life to be happy, you fail to enjoy because of simply the infirmity of your age. Mark the last three sentences, friends. Yet there is in all this what we call life, still there are 1,000 deaths, yet death we fear. Still, this fear of death makes all odds even. Yet what is in all this that can be called life? This is a very singular point, dear friends. Many thinkers across different subjects have described life in different ways. They are all metaphors, similes, comparisons, but are never exact. Friends, to say what is life, one must live life as life it is. To measure the depth of water of a particular place, one is to go down. No amount of prayer, no amount of study, no amount of research, nothing will help you. You have to go down to measure the depth of water. And there is a tremendous risk. Neither you may reach the bottom, nor you may come up again, or come up with bruises. wounds around you. God's grace is required for that, dear friends. I will tell all this. I will try to rather explain what is life in my orations on life. The holistic oration I have told you. Please bless me, inspire me, and encourage me for that. Thanking you.